Hello, BookTube. Well, as you can see, I've got yet another guest. This is Novella. Say hello to my imaginary BookTube friends. And we are once again talking about the subject of BookTube.
Yes, we are.
I have a million questions for you about the subject of BookTube. But the foremost question I want to start off with is one that's BookTube adjacent. As has been noted many, many times in, for instance, BookTube newbie tags, a large number of people, when they talk about why BookTube intrigued them at all, either to watch or to make videos, is that it gave them bookish company they didn't otherwise have. So my opening question for you is, what is your bookish world like IRL, in real life?
In real life? Well, thanks to BookTube, I became more aware of that there are still a lot of people out there in the real world that still read. And I went to my library, my local library, and I asked them, can I host a book club here? And they said, yeah. And so I started a book club. And now we are reading Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. Yeah, it's great. And now I post videos on my Facebook and such, and a lot more people are coming towards me in real life to talk about books.
So fellow readers, you know readers now in real life.
Yeah.
So did that play a part in your decision? Do you remember when you first became aware of BookTube?
Yeah, a year and a half ago. Something like that.
How long?
I found an old guy. What's his name? Steve or something. Oh no! He's 20 years old. Yeah, I'm 28.
So, how long was the time between when you became aware that there was this whole little ecosystem on YouTube that talks about books, and when you thought, I want to join that ecosystem?
A year, more or less a year. Yeah.
A year of regularly watching videos.
Yeah, daily.
Do you remember?
And buying a lot of books.
Do you remember what it was that finally pushed you over the threshold? From thinking about it to doing it?
I wanted to talk about a book. I wanted to, I've mentioned that book many times on my channel already. It's The Wall by Marlon Haushofer. He's an Austrian author. It's my favorite book, and nobody talked about it. Now people are slowly talking about it again because they have reprinted it, so it's now out now, so you can buy it. It's such a beautiful book. And there was also the thought, well, I read a lot of translated fiction, but mainly from where I'm from Belgium, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. Mostly translated fiction that is talked about on BookTube is either from Asia or often also from Scandinavia or South America, but not really. Less, I had the impression, less in my part of the world. And I thought, well, maybe it's an idea to talk about the authors I know and I follow. Yeah.
No, that's a feature of your channel. Is often you will be talking about books that no one else on BookTube is talking about or has read.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's fascinating. Although you did just recently talk about a book that I'm pretty sure that on BookTube we're the only two people who've read it, and it's amazing to me that we are both sort of wondering what we long-term really think about it, and that is Solenoid.
Oh yeah.
You know that you've read something big and serious, but you're not sure
if you like it or not.
Right, if you liked it or not, if it is great or not. It's Solenoid is one of the only reading experiences I have this year where I really wanted to talk with Steve from 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And because it utterly relies on that element of time.
Some amazing sentences in there, and it's a whirlwind, but a whirlwind can be too strong too.
Right. Right. Now, did you read Solenoid in translation?
Well, yeah, I
Too.
don't
I did.
speak Romanian, so
No, so we
no,
both
I've
had to
read
read it
it
in
in
translation.
Dutch, and the sentences were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I think it must be well done. So yeah.
So one of the initial impulses for you to start a BookTube channel was literally to supply a conversation you had not seen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fascinating. Do you remember how long it was before BookTube started to reach back to you?
It
That
took a
image that
while.
you always talk about, howling into the void, right?
Yeah, it took a very long time, and it was only when I said, and you picked it up, that I said, I don't reach enough people, but I will continue do what I do. And I made the video, why is my BookTube channel not popular
Oh, that's
enough?
right. And I did a response video to that, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, because you made a video asking a question that I bet a lot of first-time starting off booktubers ask. Why am I doing this? Why is it not reaching people? Why is no one responding?
Yeah.
Do you have any insights as to why that would be true? Is it just that 90% of the people who watch BookTube videos don't respond anyway to anybody?
Yeah, also, and especially if I have an audience from Belgium, for instance, it's very hard to get your people to log in, to comment, and to, yeah, just give a thumbs up. It's very difficult. Very difficult. People don't want to be part of another website.
That's true. That's true. And
Yeah,
that's
and
that you can't blame them.
Otherwise, I would have done it in Dutch and kept it in Dutch, but I knew right away this won't work in Dutch because I have a lot of Dutch-speaking followers, but they are more living in the world. I mean, I have Dutch-speaking followers that live in US, UK, everywhere, and they are more used to log into a website and be part of a community. And I can see that. You can also see that, for instance, in UK, people are more willing to do that. So a lot of UK booktubers have way more followers than the Americans. Way more followers.
Astronomical numbers. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that probably a large amount of that is regional. It's just regional attitudes towards that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so what did it feel like? Do you recall the first few trickles of, oh, these are real people that I've never met and am never going to meet are actually seeing my videos and responding to them?
Yeah, it was fun though. But it also makes you kind of nervous because you don't want to buy them books that they might not like. In a way, they spend $30
right. Oh, right.
and they're not happy.
That is an amazing moment when someone writes to you and tells you, I bought this book because of you.
Yeah,
Money was spent because of you. That is an amazing feeling. I would imagine I've probably grown a little accustomed to that because people have been doing that with me for a long time.
Yeah.
Before there was a YouTube, people were buying books because of me. But for somebody who's never had that before, and
it's weird. And you know what's fun? After you post a video and you go on Goodreads, and then you see all the people want to read. There's all the books that.
Oh, really? Mentioned. So you'll praise a book, and then suddenly lots and lots of people have added it on Goodreads.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
That's fun.
Pretty amazing. But you don't. I mean, your videos are going out to the world, and it's great to get responses from them. But you also do a steady stream of videos on your channel that are far more explicitly interaction. Your writing videos are very much you speaking to people.
Yeah.
As opposed to just speaking about books.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any traction. I find that really weird.
Now, what do you mean
they
by
were
that?
not popular. They were only popular amongst professional writers. And otherwise, amateurs didn't think they needed it, I guess.
Why do you suppose that is? When I do writing videos, I get a great number of private responses in email from people
Yeah.
who write all the time.
Yeah.
Is
But not
people who don't.
publicly.
Why do you suppose that is? Are we both pitching those videos really to a specialist audience without realizing it?
It could be. It could be. Although my exercises, I think, are quite easy, but on the other hand, quite difficult too. You know, I give them an exercise that is very simple. Like there was one that they have to describe a scene. So a car drives up a driveway and stops in front of a house, and somebody gets out, and that's all they have to describe. But you can fill that in with so many possibilities. You have to add the season. You have to add the type of car. What kind of car is it? Is it beaten up? Is it clean? Is it a truck or a 50s sports car? The house, how is the house?
And there are a million different ways to get out of a car.
Yeah, and is it a hearse, for instance? It can be a hearse. And the house, how does the house look like? And how does the driveway look like? But when you ask them to write that, they immediately realize that, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's not that easy. And also what I always used to tell my students, my example was always two people talking about nothing in particular over a table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do that for 6 pages.
Yeah.
No revelations. Nobody revealing something to somebody else. Just they're talking about nothing in particular at a table for 6 pages. And I always used to tell my students, it's not just that it's harder than it looks to do that, but if you can't do that, you can't do any of the rest of it.
No.
You have to be able to do that sort of thing first. Even if you don't end up doing it, you still have to be able to do it.
That's the same with my idea with the driveway. You have to be able to close your eyes and see a whole world and be able to describe it with flavor and with, you have to feel the air and the breeze, and you have to hear the noise of the leaves. You have to be able to see everything and to describe it. Really difficult.
If you just write, the car drove up to the house and the passenger got out. If you just write that and you can't do anything else, you're leaving all that work to your reader to do.
Yeah.
So, which you shouldn't do, especially if you're going to charge money for your writing. You shouldn't do that. But
no.
You're saying the writing videos don't get traction?
No.
From the general audience?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Ultimately, I wonder why that is. But what about, I mean, that's traction in one, you're giving writing lessons for free, and they're either getting traction or they're not. They're getting reaction or they're not. But what about the other way around? How has BookTube reached out and affected you? When you go into a bookstore now, do you think of BookTube?
Yeah. I've met already a couple of people in real life. I've met Bob the Bookerer, and it's also helps me to open my, how you call it? It helps me to discover new things and make me think about what I read. And it also makes me a better writer because I learned to look at a text more critically, and the people I write for are more, have a face in a way now, thanks to BookTube, because the world is so full of variation. So it's more interesting. It made my writing life way more richer.
When you watch somebody, you're getting their readings of a book. Then you watch something else, it's a whole different world coming to bear on that book. It broadens things quite a bit. But what about impulse control? Have you ever been watching a BookTube video, seen someone talk about a book and said, oh, I must have that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that has happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, and now because I vlog in English. That's all my, these are only English books, and I buy less Dutch books.
Because you mostly watch BookTube in English? Oh,
yeah.
This
and I want to be able, if I really like the text, I want to be able to read it out loud or to show it or yeah. But there's a funny thing now, talking about translations. I'm buddy reading the Brothers Karamazov.
Look at that.
And I started in Dutch and it didn't flow. It was weird. And then I have a Kobo app, and then I found a translation in English by Garnet. Is that
Constance Garnet?
Yeah. And then
very
by
good. That transition does flow.
Yeah. And then by Macduff.
Oh, Macduff. Okay. Yeah, we did it for
that worked best for me.
I heard a rumor once upon a time. I heard a rumor once upon a time that quite a few translated classics like the Brothers Karamazov in Dutch are translated from English, not from Russian.
Not this one. No.
This one. So you're sure that this translator was working from Russian?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But it didn't flow. She was too much into the Russian, and she wanted to just translate what's been said, but not adapt. So what I do now when I'm reading Dostoevsky, I read the 3 versions that I can read, and I compare them. And it's funny how they have the same sentence in front of them and how different it comes out on the page. It's hilarious. It's so fascinating to see and to be able to see that.
Yeah. So that's a matter of adaptation.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question, which is the adaptation of your own BookTube viewing.
Yeah.
Do you constantly add to the BookTube channels that you watch? Do you watch any other YouTube other than BookTube?
Yeah. Yeah. A couple, yeah.
So
like Curiosity Inc. I love that.
Curiosity Inc. Yes. Okay. Or
the Haunted House series. Beautiful.
But when it comes to BookTube, so the original group of BookTubers that you watched when you started, that has grown?
Yeah.
And how does that work for you?
Well, I
recommended a channel and go look at
I look, for instance, for fellow Europeans that have a BookTube in English or in French or in German. So now I follow some Germans and some French BookTubers that only vlog in or have a channel in English or in French. So yeah, it's more diverse now. Yeah.
Is it your impression that there aren't many of those?
That's the algorithm, I think. Oh. That's because you don't look for it.
Right, because you don't look for it. What's your impression,
like,
do you think that more people do BookTube in English than any other language? Or not?
The Spanish, don't underestimate the Spanish. It's a big language. We don't know what the Chinese do because we don't look for it. So
BookTube is extremely popular in India.
Yeah, well,
almost none of that is English, and God knows what kind of a atmosphere there is in Japan.
Yeah, we
don't know. How many Japanese booktubers are talking about manga all day long, and we don't even know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know because we don't look for it.
So what about the booktubers in English? What's your yardstick for determining which of them are losers? Which you should stay away from? That Micah kid is trouble. He's pure trouble.
Oh, he's a kid. He's a kid.
What about Michael K. Vaughan? He's not a kid. It must be. It's an organic feeling. It's a neat feeling to watch a channel and you maybe watch 10 channels in a day and realize these people are making these videos and just sending them out.
Yeah.
Just sending them out. I mean, how do you feel when you do that? When you make a video and then you hit upload or publish, how does that feel?
It's fun.
not knowing who's going to see it.
I'm already thinking of the next one, to
Really?
be honest.
Oh, wow. So how much
Yeah,
planning do you do?
because
Do you do a lot of planning ahead of time?
no,
No. No. So it's whatever happens to be on your mind at the moment.
Yeah.
Reading some trend, something that's bothering you.
Yeah.
What about your writing videos? They seem a little bit more programmatic. Are you?
Oh yeah,
They are a little bit more planned?
Yeah, on Mondays, yeah. Every fortnight on a Monday.
With those, you set out in your mind roughly ahead of time what you're going to talk about.
Because it's with exercises and then you have to prepare a little. But no, I have now my Sunday coffee clutch, which is every Sunday. And then I have a midweek check-in, and on a Friday I have a deep dive where I talk about one specific book, and now it will be Solenoid. Still have to think about that one.
Me too. Me too. I don't know how I'd make a video about it.
But you can't even say what it's about. It's like saying,
can't say what it's about.
What's your life about? Like, I don't know.
I also can't say what I'm going to think about it when I settle down. I don't know what. I get the distinct impression that that my reactions to it now are not the reactions I'll have in 2 years.
No.
Well, I'll be watching that video, that's for sure. But so you don't do a whole lot of advanced specific planning of your video. But what about the backstage pragmatic aspect? I mean, for instance, how long did it take you to get the feel of being comfortable with YouTube Studio?
Oh, not too long.
No. And what about the various YouTube metrics and indicators? Do you look at those?
Oh yeah.
You pay attention to how many people have watched a video?
Yeah.
That sort of thing? I can't remember off the top of my head if you have likes and dislikes.
I don't let myself guide too much by it, because it has to be organic in a way. I know you can do a lot more things to have more success, but it has to be real and it has to be spontaneous. And I don't want to do too many videos where oh, that's clickbaity. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want to talk about the things that interest me, and I'm pretty sure that other people will be interested in it too. Maybe not. That's why I don't read. I don't focus on the popular books, because why be the 27th that has already spoken about that book? I prefer to speak about a book that nobody else knows.
Yeah, YouTube has a whole bunch of advice if you want your channel to grow.
Yeah,
clickbait titles,
this and do that, and talk about the books that are very popular. Yeah, but I don't read those.
Make a colorful thumbnail. Announce your video ahead of time with a countdown clock, so people are anticipating it, all that sort of thing.
Well, that annoys me. So I look I follow the people that don't annoy me. And those are not very clickbaity. So yeah,
it's really the simplest way to put it, right? Why would you do something? Why would you do something that annoys you when you watch other people do it?
Yeah, that's true. There are so many people that I watch and don't do that, and I watch them. So yeah. But it makes you sometimes very insecure. Why doesn't this video work and the other one works? You don't really know, but you also don't know what it is when you send a video out. What's on TV, for instance, at the same time in the US, for instance. If there's a final of some sports event, or
when you say what works and what doesn't work, are you referring to the number of likes? The amount of views?
Views, yeah.
Views is what you use as a yardstick for that.
Although I get a lot of likes, though. It's always almost 2/3 that watches my video that gives a like. So that's a lot.
Okay, that is a lot. That is unusual. Yeah. But what about the negative side of that? Has that ever cropped up with you? Do you ever get negative comments, negative feedback?
None.
No. That's
None.
that's fantastic. Long may it continue that way.
No, no, nothing, none.
I've talked to booktubers who do, right from the beginning, and it's hard on them. I mean, like you say, you're a little bit nervous about doing this whole thing anyway. Bad enough, on top of that, for somebody to leave a comment on a video of yours saying, "I hate your opinion about this book. It's dead wrong." That's just a good thing that you're not experiencing that. But it's a net positive in your life. This
Yeah.
whole experience, adding this whole thing to your life, has been a net positive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Something that
because it made my life so much better in a way. I've been to Paris and I met Kette van Reeds, and Bob came from London to Brussels to meet me, and it was fun. That's fun to be able to meet somebody and talk the whole night about books with a beer and a pizza. It's amazing.
People don't do that to me because I smell.
Yeah.
Just the sort of thing we all have to deal with.
They would visit you because of the bean, of course, but
yes. Yeah,
but they have to take you with it.
Right. So yes, we're come together. But you didn't know those people existed.
No.
It is. That is an amazing.
It's through thanks to my channel. Yeah.
So when you're looking ahead at any given week, then when you think about the BookTube parts of it, you're looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. I can't wait. I have now an idea. I will film it tomorrow, and I can't wait to start it, and I will put it up tomorrow. I always put it up the same day because I'm so excited to get it out.
So if to wrap up our conversation here, we could end with you saying what so many booktubers have told me, which is that your advice to someone doing what you did, watching but not making videos, would be to try it.
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Right. There isn't really
so many books that we need to discover, and so many books, and we like to hear somebody talk about books and hear the other opinions, because as a reader ourselves and as a booktuber ourselves, it makes us stronger too. It makes us better, as when the more opinions we hear about a certain book, the more we learn about that book and about writing and about reading and experiences, and how other people from other countries experience a book. Because I can imagine that The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann is read differently in Germany than in India, for instance, or in Japan. And that's so fascinating.
It is. And it doesn't require any major demographic change. I had a person who was considering BookTube a couple of years ago say to me, well, I don't have anything to talk about. Yes, I read all the time, but it's all the same books everybody else is reading. And I told that person, no one has ever read those books the way you do. No two readers are the same.
No.
You could talk about books that everyone's talking about.
All read the same text, but a different book.
Yeah, a different book for every person. Why not join the conversation and tell us which version of A Tale of Two Cities you read? Like you say, that's going to give you insight.
Yeah.
In your case, it helps you as both a reader and a writer. I hadn't really thought about that. That's fantastic.
There's somebody at my door. Sniffing.
Oh, we should wrap up then.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, goodness gracious. You've got a little guard dog. How adorable.
Yeah, that's Muffin. She's busy guarding the door. I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll wrap this up then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye, Steve.